The saga continues.
Ghislane Maxwell arrested. Will she make it to trial? Let's talk about it, y'all. Middle America. Well, we're just gonna jump right into it. Here we go.
Good morning. My name is Audrey Strauss. I'm the acting United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Today we announce charges against Ghislane Maxwell for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually exploit and abuse multiple minor girls from the period of 1994 through 1997.
So you guys will remember that Mr. Epstein was arrested. He was put on suicide watch. He died under very precarious circumstances.
Yes, he did.
The lead investigator in New York at the time concluded that it was death by suicide. And then when an independent investigator looked at the findings, he concluded that of all the thousands of bodies he has studied, this would be the first suicide based on what was going on with the ligature and all the rest of it. I don't believe there's any American on the planet who believes that Mr. Epstein killed himself. As a matter of fact, it's been a meme. And sometimes your friends will say, you know, Tom Brady is now on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. And it's this very, very strange moment because it's like we're all saying we know that he didn't kill himself.
Yep.
And we're all saying we understand the implications of what that means. What that means is that we believe collectively that very powerful people, particularly people in our government, like the Clintons, etc., and Prince Andrew over there across the pond, we're all basically saying we believe that they took part in this pedophilic sex trafficking abuse of minor girls.
Yep.
And it's just been a very strange thing to me. We're all just going along like life goes on. And I think part of it has to do with the fact that he was such a scummy, evil guy that nobody feels bad that he's dead.
Yeah.
You know, when you listen to these girls and you hear their stories, there's a Netflix documentary on it. I couldn't even watch it. Nobody feels bad for Epstein. And so because of that, we're all kind of collectively looking the other way. But to me, it's like, well, there's a justice issue here because...
Exactly. There's a much bigger issue than just him dying.
Right. Even though he's an evil bastard, I want the names of the other evil bastards.
We had stuff to say that we needed to hear so justice could be served.
Correct. And, you know, there's a whole situation with Clinton when he said he was only on there like once or twice or whatever.
Yeah.
It turns out he was on there a dozen times. And now they're trying to leak... the Clinton camp, I believe, is trying to leak information that basically says, Ghislane and Bill had a relationship. So that's why he lied about the manifest. You know, I heard that on Rising earlier today that it was Bill Clinton and Ghislane had a relationship. Yeah. And that would explain things and that makes it less sinister, yada, yada, yada. But they took homegirl in. Now later on, she goes on to describe the methodology that these two would use as a team, where it talks about them going to the movies, taking an interest in the girls, shopping trips, and then normalizing sex with adults, and then you know trapping them in this horrible ring on his horrible life. Really, really horrific stuff. And now we're in a situation where. If this woman does not make it to trial, we're going to have to do something. Right? She better be in some sort of maximum security. You know, they were talking on Rising earlier this morning. They were like, there better be a live stream of this woman's cell.
Yeah, really.
Because if she ends up dead, I think they're not going to be able to get away with it this time. Good
Hopefully
Lord.
not.
What do you mean?
Hopefully that they wouldn't get away with it this time, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what will we do?
Right.
I mean, the story that they told was ridiculous initially.
You know what? I'm wondering, where are all these girls that were on the island that have been abused? Like, why is their testimonies not coming in?
Well, they've been speaking out.
Okay.
They've been speaking
so
out.
why do we even need these other people? You know what I'm saying?
Well, what do you mean, Ghislane?
Like Epstein and stuff. Why are people not getting prosecuted? Why is Clinton allowed to go around and say, I was only there one time?
Well,
there must be people that can verify that he was there more times. Or is their testimony not worth as much? Like, well, I don't understand why he's not prosecuted now.
Well, I think the evidence would be so cut and dry if Epstein spilled the beans. And I think the other thing about this is that the Clintons definitely, but like, for example, Prince Andrew, I'm not particularly certain that these girls would know who these people are. Because they're on the island, they're shut off, so all they know is some rich white guy or some rich black guy. You know, they don't know the names of these people. Like, who is the senator for Delaware? We don't know. We don't even know.
Yeah, but if I saw, if the person had done stuff to me, and then I saw a picture of them, I'm sure I could say that's the person.
Yeah. I hear you. I just think that if Epstein were to say it, that it would be, because right now it would be their word against, you know, it's just like in every sexual assault case, which is why women don't report sexual assault.
It's not just their word against his. If he was there 12 times, then there's 12 people to have their word against his.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be 12 people, right? Because if he was there 12 times, all that proves is that he went to his friend's private island 12 times. It doesn't prove that he did anything. And you don't think
Clinton did anything?
No. I'm talking about what you could prove in a trial. That's the problem.
Yes, but I'm saying more than likely you could have... It's not just one person that's going to say, yeah, he did X, Y, and Z thing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Clinton operated. I just know that, one, I'm not sure that those girls knew who they were dealing with for the most part. Two... if it came directly from Epstein and then he had emails and things of that nature, that's the other thing. Like sometimes these guys get in trouble, they try to wipe their emails and things like that.
Yes, people do that.
People do that. So when they're in that situation, if you had Epstein and he's got emails and he's got, you know, receipts and things of that nature, that's pretty much open and shut. There's no deniability there. And so it would make sense for him to be taken out. Because if you're talking about the royal family over there in the UK and you're talking about the royal family in America and all these things, again, I'm probably certain that 90% of the people that were using these girls, the girls had no idea who they were. We would probably recognize their names, but especially if they're kept on an island or something like that, I'm almost certain that he wouldn't know. So she was his confidant. So if there are emails or anything like that, she would know. But I mean, this is all
more egregious to me when a woman is involved.
This is all speculative, you know. I mean, between Epstein killing himself and her being taken in, there's so much time for her to do whatever she needs to do. But maybe they caught her on something. Maybe something came up and they're just now arresting her because her name. We reported her name when we were first talking about this about 6-7 months ago. Her name was always floating around, so why they're arresting her now, we'll probably find out later. But suffice it to say, it's a pretty crazy situation. That's all we know at this point. We will obviously get you more information when it comes out, but this woman better make it to trial. She better make it to trial. That's all I'll say about that. Good Lord. Love your neighbor.
Take care of each other.
Middle America.
We are the media.
Till next time, guys.